This is a CT myelogram taken during my blood patch just last Tuesday. And sorry, the lung isn't really pictured well in this because it's outside of the frame, but everything that you need to know is in this scan. I'm going to remove my personal information and change the presets over to lung and show you in a full screen mode exactly what's going on. The area at the bottom is my trachea, which you can see is relatively clear, slightly misshapen. And the dark area above it is my esophagus. Now, normally, when a radiologist sees that type of air in your esophagus, it means you have GERD or reflux or maybe even a burp. That certainly isn't the case in my situation because it's always there. I always have that feeling of air in my esophagus, and I am relieved when I burp. However, it comes right back. Coming into frame on the right hand side of the screen is my right lung because this is upside down, and you can see the difference between lung tissue and the black emphysemic areas, we'll call them. Now, although the esophagus is still there, you can see the air in it. It's gotten a little smaller, but you can see the pulmonary bleb or persistent air leak or hole in my lung coming into place between the trachea and my right lung. That hole bursts out of my lung outside of the pleural area and creates a second bubble of air. This is highly uncomfortable, but you can see the second bubble of air tracks right to my spine, where I've had multiple blood patches and CSF leaks that have been documented. Not only does it track to my spine, but it curves around behind my trachea, between my trachea and my spine, which is extremely uncomfortable and gives me a sense of extreme pain. And it tracks all the way back around to the air that you see in my esophagus. And I can blow it up a little bit better so you can see it better. But right there, it directly hits my spine where I had multiple blood patches because of herniations in my spine that I never had prior to the accident. And you can also see that the air tracks around to my esophagus. So with every breath, I literally have air escaping my right lung into my esophagus. It's extremely painful. I've explained this to thoracic surgeons. A simple blebectomy would help resolve this issue. And I understand that a bleb is usually asymptomatic and can often create problems if they're closed. But I've explained this to them on numerous occasions. I've suffered CSF leaks. I'm in constant pain and distress with regards to the air trapping in my chest. It's a considerable bubble. It's way outside the pleural space and obviously tracking air into my spine. I don't know what to do about this anymore, short of giving myself a needle decompression, showing up at the hospital and forcing them to do a chest tube, which will inevitably save my life. But I also don't want to end up in a mental institution because I did something crazy. But there are multiple air pockets in my chest on the right side at any given time and could be easily fixed with a pulmonary bleb resection or a blebectomy, they call it. I'm sorry this has ruined my life. I really don't want to keep harping on it and explaining this and publicizing it, but I was a happy, healthy paramedic, never sick a day in my life, with an extensive amount of medical knowledge. Explained this in detail to my doctors on numerous occasions, and no matter what, it's fallen on deaf ears. And not only that, but it's caused considerable pain and suffering with regards to the CSF leaks, as well as the air trapping and the distress. Fortunately, my pulse ox is always 96 or above. And they say that some doctors say I have pulmonary fibrosis, others say I don't have pulmonary fibrosis. But either way, I'm unable to get disability. I've been unable to work for going on 3 years. This has caused a considerable amount of stress and pain and agony in my life, and I really want it to be over. I don't want my life to be over. I love my life, but hit the end of my rope, and I can no longer support myself and my daughter due to this illness. If anybody has any suggestions, I've tried every thoracic surgeon in the area, and because of Dr. Okasanya suggesting that it's pulmonary fibrosis or mental illness, other doctors' opinions have fallen on deaf ears. There is a palpable air bubble that you could feel in my neck, and you can hear audibly the air escaping the base of my lung into my abdomen. I'm always distended. I have a six-pack abs, and you can feel them underneath all the air, but there's just constantly air in my abdomen. Actually, if you go to the base of my lung, you can see the large pockets of air. There's no way those pockets of air are just intestinal air. They're very large, very painful pockets of air at the base of my lungs. If anyone has any suggestions, please let me know. I'd be happy to hear them. I really got to get this taken care of because it's painful and debilitating 24 hours a day. Thank you. Have a great day.